What's up, y'all? This Exodus One, aka Indigo Sky, aka Trigger Ranking. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share. Definitely hit the notification bell. If you like to donate to the channel, everything is in the description, Cash App. You want to follow me on any other platforms, everything is in the top of the description of my YouTube channel. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
You are watching a master at work. Trapaholics, real trap shit.
What up? What up? How y'all doing? Everybody hit the like button for me. Good morning. Some places, good evening, and others. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Diane Pruitt, what up?
And I knew right from the start I was too much. I'm closer than you think to the stars. Nigga, look up. No need to act these hoes. I simply tell them that they ain't.
Looking out across the nighttime, the city winks, the sleepless eye. Hear her voice, shake my window.
My IG at the top of my page.
Losing sight, get me out into the nighttime. Four walls won't hold me tonight. If this town just an apple, let me take a bite. And they say why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? I say why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that
Y'all want me to play it one more time? Hit a one in the chat. I don't know who the hell that was. Oh, that was. So look, y'all, we start out with Poetic Flacco this morning. Hold on, let me see what's on the highlights though. We'll see what's on the highlights, and then if not, we'll go to Poetic Flacco first. Check this out and see what's going on. Yeah. Somebody said, get a life. All right, you want to be famous, bro? You can get the fuck off kind of bitch. Go suck on a large object. The fuck you talking about? Oh, no. Yeah, we going to Poetic Flacco. It's a Rolando or Messi. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I don't even watch that type of football. I used to play it when I was younger, but in school I had impeccable footwork, but nah. But I have seen that picture that they got where they sitting down.
What's up, fam? This your boy Cut to the Chase.
I can't say which one is better because, I've never seen them play, so I got to be able to watch them play, like, to even know who's better.
It's TV. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and be sure to share this video. I got some news
For you Negroes
today. Young Thug is headed back to jail after he got into an altercation with Charleston White, and allegedly a gun was pulled on him. Now, Charleston White took to the internet. He said he's snitching, he going to the police, and he said he want Young Thug locked up because one of Young Thug...
fair is fair. That's just like you say, does Sarah look better or Jennifer? And I haven't seen either one. I couldn't tell you who looked better because I haven't seen them.
Crew members pulled a gun on him and threatened to kill him. Now, we all know Young Thug's story. He just copped out to a plea deal on a RICO charge. He was sentenced to 15 years probation. That means he has to walk a straight line. He can't be around gang members. He can't be threatening nobody. He can't portray himself as a gang leader. So all this is bad news for Young Thug. Because Charleston White said, I'm telling you, I'm snitching, I'm going to the federal authorities, I'm in fear of my life. And that's all he wants to do to get Young Thug up. So let's be very clear. Everybody celebrated when Young Thug popped out to a 15-year plea deal. All the blogs, all the fans, Big Slime is coming home, he's back. But Young Thug ain't really delivered on his promise. Because when I thought Young Thug was getting out of jail, I was under the impression he was the old Young Thug. Come out making good music, come out being very creative.
He came out on
but
some
the Young
bullshit.
Thug we got here, we like Gunna better than Young Thug now. Young Thug done turned into an overweight hater. He was seen in the interrogation room making questionable comments, borderline snitching, talking about, I'm going to tell y'all what y'all want to know, as long as you don't tell the people what I told you. That's the biggest snitch line you can ever say. Young Thug is very dangerous, right? But anyway, I'm going to play you this clip of Charleston White and Young Thug getting into it, and then I'm going to play the clip of Charleston White explaining what happened. Let's listen.
They ain't ready for that mate. That nigga so dumb. Man, nigga. Man, nigga toast. But now, catch the foot.
And you see that? You see Young Thug is being very calm. It seems like he's talking to the spirit. It seemed like some people had to break it up, and you see Charleston White being loud. He's being aggressive. He calling Young Thug names, and that's just what Charleston White do. I think Charleston White is going to milk this altercation. He's going to make a lot of money off of it because Charleston White know how the internet works. He gets into an altercation with Young Thug. He hops on the live stream and say he's going to the police. What's everybody going to do then? All the blogs, all the media platforms, they're going to try to interview Charleston White to get the real story. And Charleston White probably going to charge them $5,000, $10,000 to tell the same story over and over again. So Charleston White is smart. He gonna milk it. He's gonna threaten to call the police on your thug, but is he really gonna do it? Because a lot of people always say Charleston White be capping. He be acting like he's a snitch. He be acting like he's gonna tell, but Charleston White always say, "There ain't somebody I told on. There ain't somebody I got arrested," and that is true. But anyway, enough of that. Let's listen to what Charleston White got to say about the whole incident. It is shocking. Let's go.
Yeah, boy, Young Thug down there finna be a victim tonight. Let me explain something to you. Jeffrey Williams, you on probation, right? You just approached me, threatening me. Your words was, we step on.
Now let's stop it right there. Charleston White is alleging that Young Thug and his crew approached him, threatening him, and Young Thug uttered the words, "We step on ish." And Charleston White is saying, "Hey, that's game talk. I'm in fear of my life. I want you arrested. You just violated your probation." That is what Charleston White is saying. And I hope Young Thug is smarter than that. I hope Young Thug didn't go down that rabbit hole, because you got to think about it like this. Young Thug, you got money. You're successful. If the people around you don't respect you, they can put you in a situation like this. How the hell you into it with Charleston White? You know Charleston White gonna run to the internet. You know Charleston White gonna milk this story. You know Charleston White gonna threaten to call the police. He did the same thing to King Yella. King Yella was on probation. Him and Charleston White had a back and forth. And what did Charleston White do? He called the police on King Yella. He called his probation officer in Vegas and tried to get his ass arrested. So if I'm Young Thug, I don't care what Charleston White said about me on the internet. I don't care about how Charleston White feel about me.
I'm not fucking with Charleston White at all. Charleston White, y'all listen. Charleston White used to be my cameraman. If you don't believe me, go down my YouTube, put Indigo Sky, Charleston White, and the video come up where he is my video man in the studio.
No circumstances could I get into it with him, because I know he's going to milk it, I know he's going to clout chase, and I know he's going to play dirty and try to get my probation violated. That's how you got to think when you deal with Charleston White. He wasn't worth it. But let's continue.
Bomber clap.
Okay. You didn't say I, you made it plural. You said we. So that's in cohorts. I mean the gang. You on probation. Then you had a fellow with you that was possessing a gun. You are not supposed to be around with people that had guns. Eyewitness, along with other witnesses, saw your friend with the short body was clutching the gun. His exact words that he was clutching a gun or appearing to be clutching a gun. I assumed it was a gun. I think it was a gun. I believe it was a gun, right? That makes it aggravated assault. His words was, don't lose your life in her. My words was, do it.
Now let's stop it right there. Charleston White is alleging that a heavy-set dude that was with Young Thug said, don't lose your life on here, and it appeared that he was clutching a weapon. And Charleston White said he told him, do something. Now, this is what I don't understand about Charleston White.
See, Charleston White he be doing some bullshit. Yeah, he said some questionable shit last night, bro, about Woody's daughter that's not here no more, and I can't ride with Buddy, bro.
And everybody he gets into an altercation with. You would go as far as pulling a firearm on him, allegedly. You would go as far as threatening to kill him, allegedly. But how he walked away unscathed? Ain't no mark on him. Y'all didn't mush him in the forehead. Y'all didn't dump him on his head. Y'all didn't jump him. So y'all just made it all these crimes, committed all these crimes, but didn't nobody lay a finger on him. That's ass backwards. The Charleston White said he believed you had a weapon. He think you have a weapon. He assumed you had a weapon. Aggravated assault. Because even if you don't even put the firearm at somebody, if you took into a heated argument with somebody, you put out a firearm.
Own custom comics with Coma AI. Just pick a style you like, upload your photo, and the AI will create.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I done had to pull that bitch out of rack that bitch.
You put out a firearm.
Nigga, what?
That's aggravated assault.
Rack that motherfucker.
That's an immediate threat to use that weapon that can cause bodily harm. So Charleston White is right about that. But let's continue.
Then other people came out and interfered. I proceeded to brandish the mace and pull out the mace and say you get maced. So I understand we was on the private airport's property, which is under Federal Aviation Administration.
That's federal.
So first thing Monday morning, because you said Jeffrey Williams on probation, aka King Slime, aka Young Thug, you said we step on him. Your other brother, your goon with the gang chain, the YSL spider chain, pretending to clutch a gun as he was assuming or assuming to be brandishing and holding the gun, said don't lose your life. I am now in fear of my life.
You hear that? Now, this is what I don't like about Young Thug. You just copped a plea to a RICO charge that got you 15 years probation. They say you can't associate with any gang members. They already labeled YSL a gang, and you still rolling around with niggas that got YSL on their chain. If I'm Young Thug, I'm burning every piece of jewelry with YSL on it. I'm gonna stop selling the merch. I don't want YSL anywhere in my house because they already labeled me a gang. I can't associate with none of you dudes. So we gotta move the right way.
I don't need weed.
How do you end up in a situation like this if I'm Young Thug? You got a fiance.
Recreational.
Your music really ain't hitting on nothing. So if you get locked up this time, ain't nobody really gonna care. I'm just being real with you on that, Young Thug. If you get locked up, it ain't gonna be no free Young Thug. The rappers ain't gonna speak out for you. Ain't nobody gonna be watching the trial. You just gonna be forgotten. Cause ever since you've been released,
yeah, definitely,
you ain't really put on. You're not even worth remembering. I'm just being honest with you. So you're not gonna get the same love you got last time. So you better leave.
But I mean, I'm about to stop smoking anyway. I just trying to get to a certain point where I'm mentally ready for it. But yeah, I'm gonna start smoking soon.
Charleston White alone, and you better move smart. But let's continue.
Swear to God, I'm gonna contact my attorney. First thing Monday morning, we will be going to the court to file a restraining order against you for my protection. Not only that, I will be contacting the federal authorities.
Damn.
Because you made a threat while possessing a gun on federal property, a private airport. I'm pressing charges on you, Jeffrey. I know you're on probation. You fit go to jail. I swear to God, you will. I'm doing everything because you got me afraid for my life. You are a gang leader. I don't even know why you was at the Drewski Could Have Been Love reunion. You wouldn't know one episode bothered me. And you waited till I was by myself. You waited till I was by myself and approached me with a gang of guys, thinking that you were gonna intimidate me and cause me to be in fear.
The GOAT TV.
Now, a lot of people is running with this narrative. After Charleston White did that live, the internet went crazy. Everybody's already saying Young Thug is headed to jail. And I want to say, pump the brakes real fast. Because Charleston White is alleging a lot of things. But can he prove it? Because so far, we just got a back end of a video of Charleston White yelling and screaming at Young Thug. And Young Thug ain't really said nothing in the video. He ain't make a threat. So I want to know, can Charleston White prove this point? Can you prove that Young Thug came up to you, threatened to kill you, somebody brandished the fire, or can you prove that? Right?
I mean, what up?
And then, it say it happened at Drewski reunion show.
I mean,
and
what up?
Drewski is around. If you recording the reunion show, I'm pretty sure there's cameras everywhere all in the venue. I'm pretty sure there's a camera that caught this whole incident. I want to see the camera footage. I want to see the Young Thug and his crew approach Charleston White, or did Charleston White approach them? Because let's be very clear, Charleston White does everything calculated. He will yell, scream, shout, get into it with you, and the whole time he's thinking, I can't wait to get to the internet. I can't wait to go viral. Because let's be honest, Charleston White been studying the algorithm. He been studying social media. He knows how to keep his name out there. He knows how to go viral. He knows every time he goes viral, all these YouTube channels, these media platforms, they're going to pay him for an interview. And they're going to talk about exactly what happened. You don't think somebody want to be the first one to get the Charleston White exclusive interview? What really happened between him and Young Thug? They get money, Charleston White make money, all is good. So I think Charleston White is kind of milking this. I think Charleston White is being very suspenseful. And I don't know if he's being
I wonder if the T.I. and 50 Cent beef is really, really real.
Please be honest, because it wouldn't surprise me at all if a couple of months from
It
now,
was really a play.
Charles White saying, "No, I was just bull crapping. Yeah, I was just trying to work the end of it. Yeah. You know how he talk. It was surprise me at all if he does that. So yeah, you gotta take what Charleston White say with a grain of salt. So let's be very clear. He's talented. He's polarizing. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. But we all can't deny that he's a cloud chaser, and he knows how to stay in the algorithm. He's on algorithm. I'm just being real with you guys on that. But anyway, guys, that was my thoughts about this whole situation. I want to know how you guys feel about it. Do you think Young Thug is headed to jail? Because everybody's saying it's the end of Young Thug. They say he made a critical mistake, and that's why he should have been more careful on who he allowed around him. If you see Charleston White at a venue,
now y'all check out Cut to the Chase TV. That's what we was reacting to. Y'all go over there and check out his channel, man. He got a real good channel. About to go to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Man, this lady Tiffany Henyard, she just need to go sit down somewhere, bro. She came out here to the Atlanta to run as a Republican when she was a starch Democrat. Where she comes from.
March 25th, 2026, in Chicago, Tiffany Henyard's father was shot in the North Lawndale neighborhood at approximately.
Damn, her pops was shot. I'm sad to hear about that, though. I don't want to hear about nobody, nobody happened to nobody's parents, so I don't.
5:54 p.m.
The father of former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is recovering after getting shot earlier this week. Henyard released a statement via social media confirming that her dad was a victim of, quote, random and heartbreaking violence. She also called on Governor Pritzker and Mayor
random acts of violence.
Brandon Johnson to reconsider federal assistance to help address gun violence in Chicago and throughout the state of Illinois.
Keep in mind, he is a 65-year-old man who was shot in the neck and taken to the hospital in serious condition. At a certain point, he was classified in critical condition, seriously injured. And once this happened, Tiffany Henyard went on to social media to say this. Statement from Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard. Although I am deeply saddened to have to address this issue, I want to begin by sincerely thanking everyone for the calls.
Bruh said his boyfriend recommended the stream. That's crazy.
Messages and prayers. During this incredibly difficult
time. Is that Diddy? Stir?
Your support has meant more than words can express. Yes, it is true. My family has been directly affected by the senseless gun violence that continues to plague Illinois. Yesterday, my father, my hero, was an innocent victim of this random and heartbreaking violence. This tragedy has shaken my family to its core, and unfortunately, it reflects a reality that far too many families across our state are facing. This devastating moment only further highlights what many of us already know and shouldn't be ignored. The ongoing gun violence in the city of Chicago has made too many of our communities feel unsafe. It reinforces the urgent need for stronger action and meaningful solutions. At this time, I'm calling on Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, that's weird. He might have been targeted, though. He could have been targeted. Going to Chig Smooth, y'all. Chig Smooth. Check him out. Check him out.
YouTube, chicks. Get ready. Know what to do, chicks.
Fine, you know, I like Chick Smooth. Chick Smooth is somebody I really enjoy listening to on YouTube because Chick just got an intellectual curiosity about things.
Hey man, when battle rapping goes too far between two artists, who do we blame? The fans, the stands, or the artists themselves? Now last week we saw Jay-Z come out and make a statement that has everybody going crazy about it. Jay said, yo, after the Drake and Kendrick battle, I'm not so sure if we need to keep battle rapping anymore. Mainly because the stands on both sides took it way too far.
And I love the sparring and the music you get, but in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it, they almost wish it didn't happen. People that like Kendrick hate Drake. I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. It's too far. It's like bringing people kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that probably, you know, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so. It could stand it before because there was no social media. You know, you had the battle, it was fun, and then you moved on. Yeah. It was like trying to tear down the people's life, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child. And it's like, I don't know if it's worth it at this at this point. I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
Now, a lot of people actually came out and spoke out against the statements from Jay-Z. This was actually one of the first times in recent memory, or probably ever, that I've seen a lot of Jay-Z fans come out and disagree with him. And that right there let me know that Jay-Z was on some bullshit. Now, like I told you guys in the last videos, you cannot control the stance on either side. They're always going to be there. A lot of these fans look up to these artists, so of course they're going to embody the personality of the artist. And quite frankly, a lot of these...
Man, Drake just fucked it. He did fuck it up, bro. He the first person to ever sue in a rap, after a rap battle. You sued the man, bro. How the fuck is that shit work, bro? How you sue a man? All right, bro, what you got going on?
Fans are very parasocial. These guys think they're best friends with the artists they fuck with. And we see this kind of stand behavior between artist fans every single day on social media. Nicki Minaj fans and Cardi B fans have been engaging in a war for damn near 10 years now. The way some of these fans are able to dig up dirt, old pictures, old documents about the other artists, some of these guys should actually be working for the CIA. There's already fire between the two fan bases, and that fire gets enraged every single time Nicki and Cardi B go at each other on social media. And that same logic still applies, especially towards this Drake and Kendrick battle. Even though we're now 2 years removed from the battle in 2024, because we see Drake still taking shots at Kendrick, TDE, and anybody else that went against him, we're still seeing crazy stand behavior to this day. Now, this week on Charlamagne and Schultz podcast, The Brilliant Idiots, Charlamagne responded to Jay-Z's comments about battle rapping going too far, and he actually blamed Drake for it. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think he's got a point. Here's what he said.
You know what Jay-Z said? He's like, it turned...
Does that mean fat ass white girl? Torture, I guess that's some kind of Mexican stuff. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
And it's like, oh, you're...
It's amazing to watch. Longevity is great.
Amen.
When you have been long...
It's hard.
Respect consistency and long...
It's hard.
Do you feel, this might transition us, but do you feel because of the battle between Jake and...
Who is Jake?
I'm sorry, Drake and Kendrick, that it's going to mess up their longevity?
No,
Why?
not Kendrick.
Listen, why would it mess
Well, I mean, like, you
Not
know,
Drake either, man.
no, but you know what Jay-Z said? He's like, it turned fans like, oh, if you're a fan of one, now you have to hate the other.
I don't even believe
No.
that's real. And you know that I didn't agree with Jay's take. I respected the take and I understand where the take is coming from.
Mhm.
But that's also a 56-year-old man's perspective. Can you pull that up? Pull that up.
He's talking about Kendrick?
Yeah, pull that up so it's fresh in my mind. Have you seen this tape? Yeah, Andrew.
And I know the internet's not real, but it did seem like online, it's like, hey, you got to pick a side.
So that's life. Why do we act like that's
No,
not
that's
life?
what I said.
I think I'm just looking at my kids' generation, so people, you know, in their late teens, early 20s now, Drake's undoubtedly the biggest artist of their generation.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's going to happen in any way is going to ultimately change how they
It's a 1A, 1B, guys. Like, stop. Kendrick is pretty big, bro. Kendrick got a Pulitzer Prize. Y'all gotta stop.
Yo, my kids' lunchroom, they would all start singing God's Plan Together or whatever, you know, like, it was that.
It's a Catholic school.
Exactly.
I went to Catholic school. New York City Public School. New York City Public School. No fucking Catholic school.
Why wouldn't a bunch of Jewish kids sing God's?
Now it's a Jewish Catholic school. So yarmulkes and Platt's church. I want to go to this school. I gotta check it out.
Well, maybe LA is like that for Kendrick.
The world is like that for Kendrick.
Yeah.
Why y'all act? Listen, there was a time where Kendrick Lamar had the highest grossing tour of a solo rapper ever.
Big Step.
And that was the Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper tour. And I think this new tour that he just went on with SZA, even though it was him and SZA, that broke the record. But before that, it was just him.
Right.
Why do we act like Kendrick?
It's because y'all listen to Kendrick doesn't mean that he's not popular.
He got a Pulitzer Prize, Chris. Then records. You know, Tupac, God bless the dead, definitely went to hell on Biggie. He starts the song off saying, "That's why I'm up to you fat motherfucker."
Yeah.
That was his wife, his mother, his children.
It wasn't the same reaction channel. It wasn't the same like reaction channel and like clipping economy. It adds so much, you know, gas to the flame.
But talk about, you're right, but the Kendrick Drake battle is very unique. Kendrick and Drake battle would have probably been over a long time ago if somebody knew how to take an L. If Aubrey Graham just simply knew how to take an L and didn't do things like sue the record label.
I think that was done before that.
No, he made it worse. He sued. I sat here on this podcast, told y'all he was going to sue in jest, sarcasm, sort of, kind of. When I'm right, it's not sarcasm. But so in jest, right? And he actually did. That is what made it worse. All of the things that have been happening after the fact, all of the Drake fan pages who still can't get over the fact that he just lost the rap battle. They're constantly digging up stuff, constantly trying to find stuff, constantly trying to, you know, rewrite history just because your guy lost a rap battle. Drake kept this going in a way that we've never seen before. None of us, we've never seen somebody sue after losing a rap battle.
Right.
That's what makes this seem nastier than what it is. Like, we've seen people get called wild things in rap battles before. Like we've seen people say, "I fucked your baby mom," and this person fucked your wife. And we've seen all of that before.
Right.
We've never seen nobody sue.
That's true.
Drake made it worse. Drake and Kendrick battle is not the greatest rap battle of all time. It's the most unique rap battle of all time. We never saw anything like this. We never saw somebody like Kendrick. Who said it earlier? To the victor go to spoils. You said that, Chris? We've never seen anybody get a victory lap like Kendrick. Grammy Awards for a diss record. Super Bowl halftime show because he had such a monster year. Followed up his diss record with an album, GNX, that was critically acclaimed and commercially successful. Go on tour around the world with the biggest R&B artists and fucking perform these records everywhere. Kendrick spiked the football a million different times. We never saw anything like this, guys. Like that, like Jay can't even compare this battle to anything. There's no comparison for this. And I know we're talking about and that's the other thing. You didn't acknowledge the artist in this, other than to say, yo, you know, you might like this song, you might like that song. Both of these guys went to hell on each other. You got one guy calling one dude a woman beater and saying that his wife is one of the kids is his best friend, and you got Kendrick saying he's a pedophile. Like it was nasty, like rap battles are, but it was everything that happened after the battle.
Everything that happened after, bro. All that crying Drake was doing, all that. I'm gonna go get my lawyer. That's funny. Drake was crying, bro.
That made this the most unique rap battle ever. So you can't say you don't want to see battles anymore just because of this situation. Because this is never going to happen again. This is never going to happen again. Even when not, think about it.
Of course something like this will happen. Come on.
I don't know. And I'll tell you, because of the players.
This is an improvement in some way.
Yeah.
Or people use when somebody gets washed in the street. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Kendrick and motherfucking Drake. I'm sure Drake has been places and heard say, oh, you know, like I'm sure he's gotten that so many times. Like I'm sure that shit sticks, just like Twitter fingers stuck to me.
Yeah.
So in great rap battles, there's going to be things that stick. But the artists have to learn to move on. If the artists move on, so will the fans. The only reason people haven't moved on in this situation is because of Drake. I'm telling you. If Drake hadn't sued and made this the issue and all of that other shit, it'd have been gone. If Drake wasn't sitting around, you know, talking to his influencer friends and, you know, telling them things and they get on podcasts and on their streams and talk about it, like nothing, it would have been gone already.
But that's the thing. That's what the internet does. Yeah. There's a place for it.
And the battle of the artists.
But the battle is won on the internet, kind of between the stan communities, not really between the artists.
What if the artist would already went out? What if Drake would have changed the temperature already? He put out the Party Next Door album, right? What if he did? What if Iceman might change the temperature? Unless he's still rapping about this shit. We heard snippets from the motherfucker and he's still throwing shots. Like, let the shit go. If you move on, so will the audience.
Now, the only parts that I do have to disagree with Charlamagne on is that this is not going to be the last time we see something like this. This has been happening since the social media age, and as a matter of
this is like basically the height that you could reach to in beef and rap battles. Because Kendrick, man, he washed Drake, bro, in the street.
In fact, it's not only going to get worse. The next time we see two artists with big fan bases go at each other, it's going to be just like this post-battle or even worse. But Charlamagne does have a point. If Drake moves on from this battle, all his fans and stans move on. And he only has to do two things. Stop talking to media personalities about anything that has to do with Kendrick or TDE, and get back to the kind of music that you were making before the battle in 2024. Once you stop talking about it, Drake, everybody's gonna stop talking about it. Now, this is all assuming Drake wants to move on from the battle. For all we know, Drake still wants revenge for 2024, which is why I told you guys in the last video, Iceman is going to be a very career-defining moment for Drake. This album is going to let us know exactly what Drake is feeling, what direction he wants to go in terms of moving forward from this battle, and quite frankly, if he still wants the so-called round 2 smoke with Kendrick. Me personally, I just want to see Drake get back to the melodies and get back to rapping like you actually enjoyed rapping. The fans.
I ain't gonna lie, I love Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. I'm talking about the melodies that it don't feel like home anymore. It's just wall doors and floors that only I can afford.
When you're having fun making music, and the fans can also tell when you're still salty about losing the battle. Listen, man, you guys get in the comments below. What do you?
Alright, y'all, so the sauce. We're gonna check out the sauce. Oh nah. We did that one last night. Oh shit. Kanye West new album. We're gonna check out Fantastic Hip Hop with y'all. Somebody said, am I black? I'm black.
Count the Kids is a great way to monitor your baby's well-being, which is why many doctors.
I'm actually not black, I'm
Kanye West is back with his brand new album, Bully. And what has been more clear than
he's
ever
gonna drop
right
Bully
on Impact is that with the return of Ye in solo album form and in year 22 of his rap career, well, Kanye has done it again. And this time around, he's managed to pull things off to a level that not just did anybody expect, but with an album that is more unique than most bodies of work that anyone will ever listen to, and most bodies of work in Kanye's own discography even are. And before we go any further into how Ye has done it and how good Bully truly is, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if Bully is your album of the year or it's in the conversation, Make sure that you have done both and hype up the video while you're at it, because with Kanye's brand new album, which has been delivered to us only 1 day late, that is incredible for his standards. Well, it's obvious why Kanye made sure to get this project out on time, and the vocal interlude at the beginning of the intro track King makes sure of that altogether.
Oh, I gotta go listen to this. It's already out.
Reads, the time is now, right now. This is the hour. This is the new dawn. This is the new day. Now is the time. For nature in all her glory, I've named you her king. She has named you the king. Well, those words have a lot of importance for this album. And as Kanye drops you right into this world with the kicking drum and hypnotic
Shit, I gotta listen to that after this over with.
Echoed in the opening monologue over and over again, Kanye ends up opening this album off with one of his best intros ever, at least in terms of the post-beautiful dark twisted fantasy part of his. That is top notch in today's rap game here, and he knows it as he starts off the song saying, that feeling that we need more of, the hating just brought me more love. And for all the people who have complained about any of the different eras regarding Kanye's recent output, Bully doesn't fall to the same criticisms that people had for some of Ye's recent records, because it opens up with a sense of urgency here that has been missing from not just Kanye work in certain regards, but the rap game as a whole for most people in it. And with this one-of-a-kind production, which right alongside it, Kanye is rapping with some of the most clear, enunciated, and competent bars that we have heard from him in a very long time as well. Well, Ye is really doing something scary in terms of how good it is. As he is giving us wordplay that...
This shit might be pretty... It might be pretty dope, dog. Okay, come on, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get this... Hold on, y'all. I might have to change the batteries in my joint. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna play the video till I get back.
We have not seen from him in so long, with something like the Kelly Price, Kevin Costner bars being used to say the price and cost in a really clever manner. We literally start to see classic Kanye coming back to the forefront, playing on pop culture with symbols and icons and names in a super humorous yet effective way. But between some of those lines that have that classic Ye humor, there is a clear weight of pain and darkness shrouded throughout what he is doing here as well, which Ye straight up admits and acknowledges to when saying, the hero became the villain, now we gon' send it up and go a million miles. And Kanye embracing all of this is really important here, because it ends up being a defining trait of the album. And while some people have described this facet of the record by using the term soulless to describe it and their main criticisms with Bully as a whole, well, I'm not saying you can't dislike it. It's definitely part of the presentation here intentionally. And the faster you get used to it, the faster you will be able to embrace this album for the full statement it is making. As Kanye is a colder, more hollowed version of him emotionally in a lot of ways, which is expressed in the bars sometimes, but through the delivery all the time almost. You see the focus, skill, and swagger all there for Kanye, but it's being presented in this way like it's frozen or broken, which creates a very different version of Ye here from even what we saw on an album like Vultures 1, but it honestly feels needed for him to grow and really move past a chapter in Vultures where one of the main criticisms was that he was saying virtually nothing. It really does set the tone forward here and creates this sense that things need to get straight to business. And while some songs seem like they were released in the typical Kanye form, and what I mean by that is that they were not finished or fully fleshed out, with 18 songs that run across 42 minutes, this colder version of Kanye does work for a lot of them, and really a lot of the shorter songs really placate to the version of him we are seeing here together, because for whatever this album may lack in length, it gives the album this breakneck pace that really does highlight that Kanye is on a mission here, and he is on one of his greatest missions ever at that, because really with the music world ready to write him off more than ever if this project isn't done, Ye knew his back was against the wall. He knew he had to deliver with this record, and failure was not an option. And well, good for Kanye, the guy doesn't fail here, as after the intro track, Ye goes on one of the best runs of songs that we have seen on any album of his in terms of the consistency. Well, if we don't count the 7-song project since the very early 2010s. Like, I'm talking honestly in terms of consecutive songs, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I will keep that there, as Kanye genuinely snaps over the course of the next few tracks. We see him innovate, bring energy, make bangers, rap better than he has in a decade, and just catch a vibe too that creates a really distinct world that for Bully as a whole, in the grander sense, makes an album that feels like nothing else Kanye has ever made. This album has a sound, style, and texture that really does give it a unique place in the Ye discography. And contributing to that, the back-to-back bang you get with the song This Is a Must, which is a perfect track 2 for an album in the streaming era.
Hey, tell your mama to read this backwards. KICD.
What is next? And then after that, the real moment that shows Bully is here to stay, and Kanye is more back than ever with the song Father. For me personally, I have only heard a few albums in the past few years that have had a better 3-song opening than we are seeing right here, especially when with the Father track, which features Ye and Travis Scott rapping over this dystopian instrumental with insane quotables, insane swagger, and insane bravado, it is going to lead something much bigger between the two of them. But I will slow down looking at the future of all that, because in the present, after Kanye establishes to everyone that going forward in his career, he's going to continue to create peak music for as long as he wants to. And that somehow, even after everything he has been through, he has only gotten more inspired, more in tune with himself, and more passionate about creating cutting-edge music. The rest of Bully becomes a playground and an entire theme park, if you will, of ideas from Kanye that show that he isn't just one of a kind, but really in terms of the entire hip-hop genre as a whole, the guy is at the top of the mountain and on the Mount Rushmore. And to not think that, I know music is subjective, but you'd probably have to be wrong, because never, and I mean never, have we heard someone not just as innovative and genius in the past, but for most artists, they are treated like legacy shells of themselves who are celebrated for what they used to be, and the only reason people even pretend to care about their music or whatever they are doing at that point in their journey is out of respect for who they were. It feels like a necessity and a thing that needs to be done rather than something that people are willingly engaging in. And I mean, for Kanye, it is literally the opposite. He is only being talked about because he still is a top player in the game.
I mean, but when you're a producer like me, bro, you can make tough, tight shit that's just gonna change the game. Because when you're a producer and you're different as a producer, the world is your oyster.
And adding even more to the dynamic of that, while other veteran rappers like Jay-Z and Eminem, who have been in the rap world for a very long time, they are still popular and they do still move mountains when they do things. They're still viewed relatively to their weight class. And what I mean by that is that they are seen as setting the trends for older rappers and MCs, while Kanye is still facilitating the tone for the entire youth, the entire genre as a whole. And he is making music that is resonating with new listeners more than music from new artists is, while still appealing to the people who have loved him for years. And it's because the guy, however you try to avoid the inevitable, is the best idea generator hip-hop and honestly maybe music as a whole has ever seen. And if you don't believe me,
They're a Christian alternative to Instagram? Stick around and find out. For Christians scrolling through Instagram,
the best idea generator hip-hop and honestly maybe music as a whole has ever seen. And if you don't believe me, listen to All the Love. To see Kanye recruit the cousin of Roger Troutman, who, for those who don't know, he used a talk box in his heyday, which was like the original auto-tune and made such classics as the hook for Tupac's California Love. Well, what Ye does here is he takes his cousin, who is using the same tool in the talk box, and is able to now use and harness this older technology. Recruit the cousin of Roger Troutman, who, for those who don't know, he used a talk box in his heyday, which was like the original auto-tune and made such classics as the hook for Tupac's California Love. Well, what Ye does here is he takes his cousin, who is using the same tool in the talk box, and is able to now use and harness this older technology to create something that, alongside Kanye's own
Nigga, I'm Franklin. I had to kill Big Smoke, man. Cut it out, bro.
vocal plate, sounds like it's taking you into the future the way that it feels like Kanye is crossing galaxies on this song. It's absolutely surreal. And it makes sense why people are calling this one of his best songs ever already. That is the level of love and passion that Kanye is bringing us. No, he used a talk him for years, and it's because the guy, however you try to avoid the inevitable, is the best idea generator hip hop and honestly maybe music as a whole has ever seen.
Okay, what's
if
up?
you don't believe me,
Raising the
listen
Netherlands.
to All the Love. To see Kanye recruit the cousin of Roger Troutman, who for those who don't know, he used a talk box in his heyday, which was like, believe me, listen to All the Love. To see Kanye recruit the cousin of Roger Troutman, who for those who don't know, he used a talk box in his heyday, which was like the original auto-tune and made such classics as the hook for Tupac's California Love. Well, what Ye does here is he takes his cousin, who is using the same tool in the talk box, and is able to now use and harness this older technology to create something that, alongside Kanye's own vocal plates, sounds like it's taking you into the future the way that it feels like Kanye is crossing galaxies on this song. It's absolutely surreal, and it makes sense why people are calling this one of his best songs ever already. That is the level of love and passion that Kanye is bringing to his craft on Bully. And after that was missing on the Vultures albums, in terms of really hitting that top bar, it's incredible to see Kanye return to what feels like a power level that is right near where he has been at for so much of his career. And with the Bully experience, while certain moments on this album are too short, sure, or it does feel like Ye even underbaked certain songs and moments, when you hear records like Punch Love and Whatever Works, where Ye is hand chopping up soul samples in what feels like, I don't want to say the college dropout era because I think it's a cliche at this point, and while the songs feel newer and different than what Ye would have done back then, they carry the same spirit, sound, and essence of them. And if Kanye was making that album with the technology and times of 2026, I'd imagine it would sound something like this. Both of these songs are absolutely incredible. Ye is punching in bars over these beautiful loops. And while when I first saw some people saying that the opening leg of Bully is one of the best runs of Kanye songs ever, and kind of didn't believe it considering the artist and the pedigree he has, the more you go through and really just get lost in this track list, as beyond the bangers, genius, and soul samples of the first 6 songs, the next song, Mama's Favorite, has Kanye opening his heart more and giving us this character song as we get this beautiful outro of Donda talking about self-worth and belief to Kanye. I mean, the album keeps getting more beautiful. I almost cried listening to Donda speak here. It's so loving, and her words remind myself, and I'm sure millions of people who listened, of special people in their own lives who are no longer here to echo those same sentiments that she is saying. And if I'm only on track 7 and I'm telling you that I'm getting emotional, what is going on here? This album
That's how you got emotion. Hold on, I gotta listen to the Bully album.
Just in terms of the idea that
So they said it came out a day
out
late.
of nowhere. And because of that, it feels unreal to even believe that we got it. And it feels like the moment of the Donda speech specifically sets up even more waves to come. And whether they are beautiful or tragic, they continue to showcase more and more that Kanye is the best idea maker in this genre, which just seems to take on more new meaning. As after this song, we get more great rapping and we get to hear Kanye with one of the best cadences, flows, and pockets that he has been in years. All while a much darker soul sample beat is playing on the track Brothers and Sisters, and serving as an all-time moment with the self-titled track Bully that comes after this. This is another anchor track in this record that just defines the moment, defines the experience, and defines the philosophy of what Kanye is trying to do with this album as a whole. And it's great, from sampling Nelson from The Simpsons to the incredibly angry and animated hook from the one and only CeeLo Green. This song is really an unsettling masterwork. I'd go as far to give it that title that altogether creates one of the better arrangements and fleshed out pieces on this entire album.
Damn.
And if you were keeping count right now, we are 9 songs in, and there is not a single miss. This is something you have not been able to say about a Ye album or most albums in quite a long time. And as far now as the second half of the album goes and how Kanye tries to land this career-defining statement, the genius...
Man, I'm so happy, bro. Ain't nothing but good music been coming out. Baby Keem just came out. Baby Keem came out about a month ago. I think about a month ago.
keeps flowing. Highs and lows
Now
remind you of the
Kanye.
fact that Kanye is doing all of this while being so limited creatively in terms of the samples and talent that he can even pull from at this point, because so many artists won't clear anything for him. And while the original version of this song was a peak Ye snippet, it honestly sounded like one of the most incredible things that Kanye ever made in the moment. What we see here is still incredibly produced in its own way, and Kanye's singing is epic, it's glorious, and it's honestly a little triumphant. And when you just think about the range we have talked about over the last few tracks, it's showing that Kanye is still moving like the rap Thanos in being able to work and encompass every single skill possible. The only issue I have with a song like this and with other moments on the record is that some of them just feel way too plain for how ambitious the idea is initially presented. Kanye really makes a track here that feels like an interlude almost, just in terms of the fact that we never see a climax or conclusion reached in terms of the instrumental cycle or his performance as a whole. But keep in mind, this is coming off one of the best runs of songs we have seen from Ye or on any album in so long. And this isn't a bad record by any means. It just doesn't feel as thought through. And I mean, just when you think that Bully can maybe start to slip up and fail, Kanye keeps expanding the range and going off, as with a song like I Can't Wait. Now he is interpolating Phil Collins' Can't Hurry Love record with these super hard-hitting drums, and Ye is singing out parts and then rapping really competently, and clearly this is a song that shows how good of a visionary Kanye is, because this is the Thanos principle in practice. He is pulling classic music, using so many different skills he has, and placing them all into this incredible musical package. There is no way around it. And to really stack up what Kanye is doing here and understand the moment and even understand where he is at in his career, it's impossible to just not be enamored by what we have seen so far altogether. And now, while I've given Bully a lot of compliments so far, it does seem like the closing leg is where a lot of the controversy and contention around it is. And while track 13, White Lines, which features Andre Troutman once again, is a solid breather, although it does feel a little plain and a little baked, the Don Toliver track Circles has really gotten bashed in the Ye community because of demoitis. It sounded very different and had a lot more going on when it was first heard, previewed, and presented.
You really think hiring random freelancers is the way to grow your social media? Surprise. You just
a lot more going on when it was first heard, previewed, and presented. But having Don Toliver just croon out over the same beat that the legendary MF Doom graced long ago, it becomes what I'm gonna say is a nice interlude, although I don't know if that was the intention, and this song could have been so much more considering the talent pool here and what they have done together in Kanye and Don, as let's remember, they've given us records like Moon in the past. And with another one of the records that had super big expectations being here in Preacher Man, which went super viral when Kanye first started to tease this album in the first place, well, I mean, after the AI slop version that used to be on the EP version of this record that Ye put out last summer is gone, hearing Kanye actually rap as a human, it sounds great. Although Ye's voice here sounds a little low energy and low effort, and somebody online did say it sounds like he recorded this laying in bed. Although while I'm pointing that out, the record's production is so incredible. This is one of the best Kanye loops of all time. It's still a good record. It's carried through its flaws, although if this record reached its full potential, it probably would be one of Kanye's best songs ever. And to me, it's a song in a moment like this that holds Bully back for really no reason. It almost reminds me of the flaws on something like the original version of The Life of Pablo, and I hope Ye fixes these obvious issues that feel like he didn't check over his work rather than having these gaping problems in the creative process altogether. And speaking of other records that people were worried that AI was going to ruin, Beauty and the Beast sounds really good here, although I do think both Preacher Man and this record would be easy 5-star songs if Kanye had a delivery here that was a little more present in the moment, or if these same songs were released in years like 2016 through 2019. But this is still a really good record that creates a really good vibe. And as far as the final 3 songs go, this is always a big number for Kanye.
Final 3. Just a countdown, y'all, to 18. So yeah, 18 songs on the
Kanye albums that really seem to work in unison with one another. Track 16 and 18, this one here, get the job done. They close up the album with the outro especially, showing how Kanye outros are always really incredible tracks, although it is a little more on the tame side as far as his finales go. But in between those, there's the song Last Breath with Peso Pluma there. That is the big miss. I don't think this song is terrible. It has solid qualities, but it's just a weird record that sounds worse than any of the other versions we have heard from it in the past, first off. But if we stack all of that up and even consider this a miss, while I said some other songs had flaws, I think they are all better than they are worse. I think this album goes 17 for 18, with about 12, 13, or 14 of these songs being really good. Which, just to keep it simple, there is 17 good songs on this thing and one that is kind of meh. And even for the songs that I think need work, they need work. They are not bad. It just feels like Kanye rushed them to market, which has been his method of making albums and releasing for quite a while. But with the first 12 songs of this album being literally perfect and most of it being so creative, exciting, and moving, especially in a rap landscape.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta load my soundboard. Give me a second.
Respect the craft. Bully is an album that, for everything you want to say about Kanye, it reminds you why we need this guy in the rap game. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. There is just so much trash in this space, and that seems to be only becoming more and more. And someone like Kanye holds up a mirror to everything else. It sets a new standard to move to altogether. And it just reminds you of how boundless hip-hop can really be as an art form when the right people are leading things forward. And for Kanye doing all of that in 2026, this is showing us that Kanye is still one of the best rappers, hip-hop artists, visionaries, producers, and tastemakers in the industry. Because really, everything here is next level. The misses are better than most rappers' best work, period. And even after giving out the blueprint and game year after year, I mean, so many of the rappers anointed by big label heads Ye has worked with in some capacity, no one has learned a thing. No one can make a song sound like half the record that Kanye does. And even through everything he has went through since the last...
Kanye is a producer. That's he one of the main reasons why I kept producing. Like, I mean, Dr. Dre and all them, you know, they inspired me from back in the... Kanye was one of them people that inspired me. I ain't gonna lie to you. He older than me, 1 year older than me, but he inspired me.
Time we have heard from him, and how so many people were expecting the worst from this, he leaped over all of that and showed that nobody is still taking the very idea. And so with Bully and with this record, you see how Kanye is on the Mount Rushmore of rappers, and he is not for. And he's done it by creating albums like this. They are significant, they are important, and they are groundbreaking to the landscape of the genre as a whole. And to do this deep into your career, it's an incredible feat that I don't really think we can even properly contextualize yet. And with Bully, when you break it down at its core, it really does feel like a masterpiece of who Kanye is as a musician.
I shot you out 15 minutes.
Polished and completed, which is a big flaw. But that's the messiness that comes with Kanye, and still, this is the best palette of ideas that has been put out in hip-hop in 2026, and is in the conversation with anything you want to put it in. And as this is only version 1 of the album, we are yet to see how it evolves, and then how the rap world is going to be affected by the return of Kanye being this good in 2020. A great new Kanye in this space should just move and operate going forward. And so really, Kanye has managed to add another album to the list of records that have changed the very way the air is moved in hip-hop as a whole. And while I'm not even going to try to rank this thing yet, I don't...
All right, y'all. So we checking out fanaticz hip-hop. We about to go. We about to re-up, see what's going on, see what they got popping. All right, y'all. We're going to go to this Poet of Flacco, then we'll go to the sauce after that. We're going to check out Poet of Flacco right quick. Again, about this Young Thug thing.
A daily worldwide scavenger hunt utilizing QR codes may just be the newest way to guide players to not only new places, but also to health and...
This Young Thug and Charleston White drama is really bad, but it's only really bad for young.
What's up? What's up? How you doing? Isaac Williams.
Young Thug.
What's up?
Because Young Thug is the one who allowed himself to get rage baited and tripped out of his position. Young Thug very well could be headed back to jail if things play out how we think it's going to play out. A lot of people is under this notion that Young Thug beat his RICO case. He didn't. Young Thug pled guilty. And when he pled guilty, the judge had a criteria of things he had to do and stay away from.
I'm looking at this Kanye album, this new the Bully joint. I'm just looking at how they got the song set up.
Yeah. The judge sentenced him to, I believe, 20 years. 5 out of 20 would be time served. And then 15 years would be on probation. However, they have very strict conditions. And if Young Thug violates any of these conditions, he's going back to jail. And not just any one of these conditions. If Young Thug goes to jail for whatever reason, he could very well be going back for 15 years, even if it's a misdemeanor.
Count 57, 20 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years probated. To serve 5, commuted to time served, balance probated, with 1. 59, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. And you may not have in your possession or with arm's reach any kind of a firearm because you're going to be.
Hey, where you tapping in from? What city you tapping in from?
Except I know that you have security and you need security. You can be
I'm
within
listening to Bully
arm's
right
reach
quick.
of a firearm that is in the possession of either licensed law enforcement or licensed security personnel that are in your security detail or anybody that you're performing with. You are to submit to random drug screens and not use any drugs unless they are prescribed for you by a licensed physician. You are to execute a 4th Amendment waiver that will permit the search of your person, residence, vehicles, and electronics for any firearms, any criminal street gang paraphernalia, or any illicit drugs.
I watched the full sentencing. I heard what Young Thug had to say towards the end, how he took full accountability, how this life is behind him. And Your Honor, when he comes home, he's gonna serve the community. I heard it all, man. And then Thug's first day out, man, Thug is rapping about how he don't F with rats, how y'all rats, how I said, right, Young Thug ain't learned a goddamn thing in jail, man. He came home and started calling himself King Slime. Okay? Now, more evidence that Young Thug ain't learned a goddamn thing in jail is this run-in with Charleston White. Now, when your probation is that strict, when you gotta follow...
Hold on. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. One second, y'all. 1 second.
They done divided the city. Cause he ugly. He ain't got no muscles. He ugly. Huh? Nigga running the town. The ugliest nigga coming out the project, been mistreated all his life. He like one of them Michael big dogs in the backyard that had their head in the cage. That all they know how to do is fight and fight. And you done get to a loving family. Go by everybody in the house, and the cousin come over too, and the neighbors too. This ugly I run in the city. He been busted, dusty, ashy, ugly, bad dental work, poor hygiene, been mean. What y'all think when y'all make him president of the country? He wanna go to war with everybody. He dropping bombs everywhere. They got the man on the phone telling Woody them, you nigga must have got caught. You niggas ain't dead yet. What? You saying he's on the phone, nigga? They got
Damn,
y'all done got caught.
Hold on, bro.
You niggas ain't dead yet? And you ain't you done divided the city, nigga.
Hold on.
And you done divided the city, nigga. Then you go to jail. You divide the whole.
Hold on, man. I'm listening to the Kanye album right now, bro. This shit is incredible. All motherfucking ready, my nigga.
Wanting to see yourself as a comic book
I
hero.
mean, first,
Just upload a photo.
how many seconds we in there?
Describe your story, choose a style.
Well, we just listening to the Bully song, but hold on. Hold on. How many seconds am I in, bro? This shit incredible already, bro. Hold on. I'm 23 seconds in, dog. I gotta say that. 23 seconds. That's Michael Jordan, the greatest player to ever play basketball. Played in Chicago.
You done divided the city, nigga. Then you go to jail. You divide the whole.
I can understand why you want to put hands on this man after hearing that, but I wouldn't care if Charleston White called my mama out her name. If I'm on paperwork, when I see him, I'm going to shake his hand. Good to see you, son. And keep it pushing, man. And if something does happen to him, I don't want to be in the building. I don't want to be in the same country when it happens. I'm straight. I don't even want it to be anybody who's associated with me who does it. But Young Thug apparently couldn't control his impulses when he seen Charleston White, and he decided he was gonna try to scare Charleston White with the same age-old street dude tactics. Not knowing, bro, these new age of civilians and rats, we a little different, bro. We tough rats nowadays, okay? All right, we learned the blueprint to dealing with street dudes, okay? We got the police on our side. Y'all don't really want no smoke with the police. Y'all scared of jail. All right, so we now know what makes y'all scared and fearful. At first, you guys knew what the game plan was with us, threatening our families, threatening our livelihoods, because for the most part, we not willing to take it there where y'all want to take it, right? We have something to live for. Y'all don't. But we know one group of people who don't give a damn where y'all want to take it. They ready to take it where y'all want to take it, and that's the police. So when we got next to the police, now we could pop it how we want to pop it, because y'all don't want to pop it with who on our side, which is the police. So Young Thug must have been in jail for a long time, because apparently he's not really hip to these new age rats, okay? Young Thug decided it was smart to threaten Charleston White's life.
They ain't ready for that race. They so young. Man, so now catch the foot.
Jeffrey Williams, let me explain something to you. You on probation, right? You just approached me, threatening me. Your words was, we step on, okay? You didn't say I, you made it plural. You said we, so that's in cohorts. I mean the gang. You on probation. Then you had a fellow with you that was possessing a gun. You are not supposed to be around with people that had guns. Eyewitness, along with other witnesses, saw your friend with the short body, with the fat, pudgy stomach that hangs above over his waistline like a kangaroo pouch. The fat clutching the gun. His exact words as he was clutching the gun or appearing to be clutching the gun. It was a gun. I think it was a gun. I believe it was a gun. Right? That makes it aggravating.
Man, this Kanye West album is going crazy. I'm listening to it. I can't preview it on the channel.
His words was, don't lose your life in here. My words was, do it. Then other people came out and interfered. I proceeded to brandish the mace and pull out the mace and say, you get mace.
Now, in the beginning of this video, we watched the sentencing of Young Thug, and that white woman told Young Thug specifically, you cannot be around anybody with a gun if they not security. I don't think a short, stout, pudgy man with no security reference on anything and who's telling people don't lose your life here tonight, I don't think that's security. I don't think that has the temperament of security. So if Young Thug is still rolling around with street dudes with guns as his security,
Man, I wish I could hear
Young
this
Thug
damn
won't be a
CD.
free man for long. Now,
This shit
Charleston
is so
White
sad.
plans on taking additional steps to make sure Young Thug gets in trouble. Now, I don't know how successful Charleston White will be with this, but he's still gonna try. Charleston White says he's gonna call Young Thug's probation officers or the parole office, and he's gonna report a terroristic threat. Now, when you are brandishing a firearm, Charleston White says he could see them clutching on the firearm while making terroristic threats about Charleston White losing his life.
Fanaticz, real
Charleston White hasn't been reported. Charleston White somehow got footage of this, and Young Thug is
You were watching a master at work.
in the vicinity, that can be very bad news for Young Thug. If there's one person I know who's gonna go through with this, it's Charleston White. I don't know what Young Thug was thinking. I don't know why you would even engage Charleston White. Why would you even waste your time with Charleston White? Why would you do this to yourself? But he did it to himself, and he's gonna have to reap the consequences of it.
So I understand we was on a private airport's property, which is under the Federal Aviation Administration. So first thing Monday morning, because you said Jeffrey Williams on probation, AKA King Slime, AKA Young Thug, you said we step on him. Your other brother, the goon with the gang chain, the YSL spider chain, pretending to clutch a gun as he was be brandishing and holding the gun, said don't lose your life. I am now in fear of my life. Swear to God, I'm gonna contact my attorney first thing Monday morning. We will be going to the courts to file a restraining order against you for my protection. Not only that, I will be contacting the federal authorities because you made a threat while possessing a gun on federal property, a private airport. I'm pressing charges on you, Jeffrey. I know you're on probation. You fit go to jail. I swear to God, you will. I'm doing everything because you got me afraid for my life. You are a gang leader. You have, I don't even know why you was at the Drewski Could Have Been Love reunion. You wasn't on one episode, ugly. I don't even know what you were there for. Bothered me. And you waited till I was by myself. You waited till I was by myself and approached me with a gang of guys, thinking that you were gonna intimidate me and cause me to be in fear. And
Yeah,
guess
that
what?
goddamn, that Kanye going hard,
I
y'all.
bet that your email looks something like this.
I'm listening to it right
I
now.
found an app that I think you're going to love. Unroll Me is an app that lets you instantly see a list of all of your email subscriptions and clear the ones that you don't want. Once the list is populated, you can select all and then choose to unsubscribe, keep, or use the roll up feature all at once. You can download Unroll Me on the App Store as well as the Google Play Store, and best of all, it's free.
You know how you're talking about something and next you see the ad of it online? Creepy, right? That's because you're being tracked like crazy. That's why I switched to using the DuckDuckGo browser. As much time as I spent
and caused me to be in fear. And guess what? You did.
I've seen a sentiment by Young Thug online that I have to highlight. Now, it was so simple yet profound. I was probably already thinking it, but they were first to put the thoughts
OG, what up, OG?
Had it online. So I have to highlight this and bring attention to it. This man is a philosopher. The street philosopher.
I'm listening to that Kanye right now as we do the live, bro. I just found out the shit just came out, man. That shit is beautiful, bro. Kanye is a genius, man. Yeah, yeah. All the love. They said this was one of the best ones. That bully was already hard. That bully, man, shit. As soon as I went in that motherfucker, I was like, what the? I ain't gonna lie, this Kanye album is crazy, bro. This shit is crazy, my nigga. Like, bro, this shit going stupid, man.
Philosopher Two-Way J2 says, this ninja Young Thug might be the dumbest ninja I've ever seen, and I agree. I don't think, based on this, there's nobody dumber than Young Thug. Ain't no way you on a 20-year sentence, 15 years probation, and not a year into it, you picking a fight and threatening Charleston White out of all people on the internet? Come on, bruh. Right? And yo, listen, man, the comments agree. Ain't he under probation? Yes. Y'all call Street is dumb. Yo, things like this is
Man,
why
this shit
Young
is
Thug is
incredible,
going back in prison
dog.
before the year's over. Y'all call
This
Street
is a sonic
dumb.
masterpiece.
Y'all
I can tell already. I ain't even heard every song. I heard like 3-4 songs.
Just don't speak on this. Is y'all expect
Like
the Street
sonically,
to
this
go to jail
album
and come home a nerd?
is incredible.
No, we expect you to be reformed.
This better
We
than
expect a
808s and
father
Heartbreaks.
to go to jail and figure out, you know what, being tough ain't worth not being in my kid's life. Being tough ain't worth leaving my kids, man.
This shit going
Because when
crazy,
Young Thug was behind on bars, Young Thug was willing to pay whatever it took to
You
come
were
home.
watching a master at work.
When Young Thug was in jail, Young Thug was willing to put up $10 million bond to come home. So if you're willing to put up 10 M's to see freedom, it's just a taste of freedom. Your freedom ain't worth ignoring Charleston White. Like, your freedom is ain't worth just minding your business and going the opposite way. If you're young, if I'm Young Thug, if I see Charleston White, I'm running the opposite way, man. I don't want no smoke, homie.
Sure did. And I am in drill. God said I would lose my life clutching the gun. I seen it and I saw it. And I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. You going to jail. And I'm contacting your probation officer. I'm sending you the video to show that you was there and you was with gang members.
Damn.
I got the pictures and the photos of every guy you was with. Swear to God I do. Yeah, no business bother me. But you got the right one, Jeffrey. Yeah. Jeffrey King Slime. Finna slime your right into Fannie Willie's hands. She already done tried to get you revote. Guess what I'm finna do? Get you a revocation hearing. I'm telling you, that's why I'm gonna get you a revocation hearing. And listen, I'm gonna tell exactly what happened. Detailed description. And you waited. I said, I'll go catch me by myself and I'll go count. I'll grab my nuts on you and told you to do it. And I'll go by myself. You know, the group of, and you, at every opportunity, upside my, ooh,
Yeah, get what you didn't do. Nothing but make threats. And guess what it is? Against the law.
The streets are saying, we just don't understand street dudes, man. We don't understand. Y'all let me know. What Young Thug did was smart. Do y'all think Young Thug antagonized Austin White was smart while on paperwork? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out how Corey Holcomb's career is officially over. His numbers is plummeting. And he just admitted to probably the dumbest thing you can ever admit to on a podcast. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. Like this video if you rock with me, and click the hype button that pops up after you like it. That's the best way to push my videos in the algorithm for me. So if you support me, send me a hype to this video. You get 3 free hypes a week. Use it on me. I'm really appreciate it. I'm gonna see you guys in this Corey Holcomb video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.
Vanish Private AI. Get it today.
If you're a mom, then you know just how expensive it is to feed a house full of kids. I mean, I need an entirely different budget category dedicated just to the amount of money.
Going to the South, y'all.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into the sauce. Your source for celebrity news.
Hey yo, thanks for tuning into the source, your source for celebrity news. Do me a favor and hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, why don't you go ahead and do that too? All right, y'all. Chili from TLC.
Man, I'm happy as hell this Kanye album just dropped, bro. I'm happy. This one here. I'm listening to it as I do the live.
Is facing major backlash. Just when her career seemed to be getting back on track, because she's out here dating childhood heartthrob Matthew Lawrence, and TLC has gotten back together to go on tour with Salt and Pepper and In Vogue. Some people on social media have uncovered the fact that just like Nicki Minaj, Chili from TLC just might be MAGA, because records show that she donated to Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and other conservative candidates. And also, people are pointing out that back in the day, Chili actually liked a post about Michelle Obama allegedly being a man. Now, we're going to explore further whether or not Chili is actually rocking with the red side, but before we do, let me show you what Chili had to say about all this backlash.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button. And I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls.
All right, so after all the bad press, Chili jumped online and she wrote in all caps, so you know she's serious. She wrote, I want to be clear. I'm not MAGA and do not support any of the many policies that are causing great harm to the American people. I made a mistake too many make. I did not read the fine print. I thought I was supporting causes against human trafficking and also for veterans. Two things I care deeply about, as my dad is a veteran and everyone knows I love children. I've learned a valuable lesson and asked for grace as I navigate this. Love, Chili. Alright, so I did a little digging and did a little research and looked further into this. And it appears this is what happened. In 2022, Chili was online and she saw a post about Barack and Michelle Obama. And the name of the post was Michelle Obama registered to vote as a man in 1994, according to Illinois State Board of Elections. And in the post, they had actually manipulated Michelle Obama's picture to make her look like a man. And underneath, somebody wrote, "The more you wake up, the Illinois State Board of Elections." In 2022, Chili was online and she saw a post about Barack and Michelle Obama. And the name of the post was Michelle Obama registered to vote as a man in 1994, according to Illinois State Board of Elections. And in the post, they had actually manipulated Michelle Obama's picture to make her look like a man. And underneath, somebody wrote, "The more you wake up, the more you see it. Power isn't voted in. It's selected behind the scenes. The truth." Under that caption, Chili actually hearted that post, but later on she came out and said, "Wait a minute, I made a mistake. My thumb actually did something that my mind didn't consent to." Now, after Chili came out and said that her thumb was over there doing things without her permission, people were like, all right, we're gonna let this one slide. But don't let it happen again, because we didn't forget that after George Floyd was murdered, you was out here saying all lives matter when we were saying Black Lives Matter.
Issue that's been highlighted in both the USA and the UK is the Black Lives Matter movement. Did you guys feel strongly about it when it was all kicking off in America? Did you go on any marches? Did you go on any anti-Trump marches? But you having said that you're not into politics that much, did that affect you?
Well, I didn't go into any marches or anything like that, but for me, all lives matter. You know what I mean? Because there's a time when, different groups are targeted for, different things. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that just the whole, what happened, even, with the police brutality against these young Black boys and stuff like that, and all of that kind of stuff is wrong, and even if it was, a Caucasian teen kid that this was happening to or whatever, it's just not right, and some people take that authoritative position and go crazy with it, obviously, and I think that before people are hired in these positions, they need to do like some kind of better background check or mental stability kind of, check on them to see if they can really handle being in a position like that. So like I said to me,
that color sticks together too, blue. They stick together.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell on each other.
What's it like for you both being Black women in America in the age of Donald Trump?
We didn't want to replace ourselves. We just wanted to stop doing repetitive work that AI can handle. So we built Cintra, a team of AI employees where each one has a single job. Delegate to your AI team, and those tasks are done. No man.
You both being Black women in America in the age of Donald Trump.
I don't care about Donald Trump. So, God is my president, so I just feel sorry for people it affects, but I don't care about him.
Like I remember when Trump got into power, lots of actual TLC fans were going, Trump is a scrub. Is Trump a scrub?
That's funny. It doesn't bother me. I worked on Celebrity Apprentice, and when he wasn't president, and I wasn't too fond of him. So I don't care, really.
So, after Chili sat up there and she was like, all lives matter, people were like, girl, bye. Because the point of saying Black Lives Matter is to say that Black lives matter too in a world where white lives have always mattered. You're missing the point. All right. So after I did some digging and looked into whether or not Chili actually donated to the Conservative Party, the Republicans, and also MAGA, this is what I found. According to Federal Election Commission FEC records tied to Chili, aka Rosanda Chili Thomas, she donated approximately $900 in 2024. Now, the $900 in contributions that she made were not made directly to Donald Trump's campaign, but instead to Republican-aligned fundraising entities, specifically WinRed, the main GOP online fundraising platform, and also the Trump Save America Joint Fundraising Committee, which is a joint fundraising vehicle tied to Trump and the Republican Party. According to sources, these types of committees often receive donations, then they turn around and distribute or route the funds to other Republican candidates, PACs, and party operations, which is why headlines sometimes simplify it as donations to Trump. So, while Chili didn't make a personal donation directly to Trump's campaign account, she did monetarily support Trump-aligned political efforts, including sending a little money over there to Ted Cruz. Because even though Chili may have thought that she was giving money to the veterans,
Real trap shit.
was broken down like this. $800 went to Donald Trump, $63 went to the National Republican Senate Committee, and $7 went to Ted Cruz. All right, so even though Chili is out here saying, I didn't know, I thought I was donating to the kids. A lot of people are like, girl, please. You knew darn well that Win Red was not sending no money to the kids. And one person even said,
Universal PDF Reader. Get it today.
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work. Want to be a part of it? Listen up.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, and I'm the CEO of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next webinar where you can drill deeper into our bond offering.
And one person even said, even though me and Nicki Minaj disagree, at least she can stand on what she believes and she ain't out here fronting. You, on the other hand, always have an excuse. Now, after Chili came out and shared her side of the story and said it was an innocent mistake, the comment section was brutal. I mean, for real. These people were back in the comments acting like they were the members of an R&B girl group singing to Chili like this.
And I love
Please stick to MAGA and the white folks you're used to.
All right, so let me read you some of these comments, but I'm warning you, it was bad. One person said, Sis found out about one distant Indian relative and started acting like a special snowflake. This woman's in her 50s bragging on baby hair. See the Breakfast Club interview. She's an ignorant clown. And then somebody else said, she's a whole weirdo. She's always correcting people when they call her black by reminding them that she's got a little Bangladeshi in her. And then after that, Somebody else said, I just know she had a panic attack the moment she heard Keke Palmer was going to play her in that biopic. She probably wanted Priyanka Chopra to play her. After that, somebody else said, not a fan. And she can play in Traffic coming for Queen Michelle Obama. Least talented, can't sing, wasn't even a first choice. Chili number 2, aka Razonda Self-Hater, can have several seats. She hasn't been the same since Sally Jesse Raphael located a father who had a grandparent from Bangladesh and went on a special snowflake Asian wave. She's the result of a one-night stand and my father knows it. They stayed friends after serving in the army together. I met him once at a family cookout and didn't realize that was her father until my dad told me later. That man is a black man with semi-wavy hair. Chili number 2 is a white-worshipping, tap-dancing MAGA that should be completely removed from support from any black women. She has a black American mother raised by her, didn't even meet her father until she was grown, and all she can do was this partial Bangladeshi background. She's an entire weirdo and hypocrite. Haley Berry has an entire white mother and has more affinity for our community. I could tell stories for days and was indifferent until I had a friend tell me what she did to her in Georgia back in the day. I don't worship celebrities anyway, but tap dancing self-haters like her that attack the former First Lady need to be called out. She is lower than pond scum for that. I wouldn't support a thing she does. Next, somebody else came through and said, girl, save it. I saw the post. After that, somebody else added, people, it doesn't matter who she gave to. Who cares? Move on. She don't need to explain anything to nobody. Just live. It's life. Then somebody else said, I reposted a bunch of stuff by accident before I knew what the repost button was. My finger hit it by mistake. I get it. After that, somebody else said, it's like a 3-step process to repost. The next person up to that said, even if this was an accidental repost, you gotta be following some weird ASS hosts or consuming content from some weird ASS hosts for this to just be in your feed. Just saying. And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and they were mad shady. They said, Left Eye used to call her out regularly. I remember it all. She said she slept with any man that would look her way. That Prince smashed and threw her out his limo. That she was always trying to play people against each other. Spilled all the tea. That she can barely sing and that Pebbles had to get her voice lessons just to carry a tune. They chose Razonda as a replacement because of her look, aka aesthetics, and because she could dance. Some foul-ish went down. And Pebbles had someone do all her voice parts.
I'm about to get up out of here. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I'll be back.